Okay, I'm gonna keep this one quick. I've always intended to make a full-on Octopath 2 video, and I'm still going to. But for right now, I just gotta get something out there. I'm done being nice too. I'm here to tell people to play this game. Octopath 2 was a phenomenal game that came out to the applause of no one. People just weren't interested in it. Partially because Square Enix didn't really promote it. Fucking shocker. Partially because Final Fantasy fans are afraid of any game that Square Enix releases that doesn't start with F. And partially because Octopath 1 was so fucking boring it made people uninterested in the sequel. Okay, I'm playing it up a bit. Octopath 1 is an okay game that had good ideas but some questionable execution. A game people play, enjoy, get bored of, and move on without playing the sequel. Which is a shame, because Octopath 2 does every single thing the first one does, but better, and delivers one of the best turn-based RPGs in years. I cannot tell you how many fucking people have told me, "Oh, I'm gonna finish Octopath 1, then play 2 once I finally finish it in 8 years." Or they'll tell me they got bored of it and not really interested in playing 2, because 1 didn't capture their interest enough. Fuck off, uninstall that piece of shit, and slap on Octopath 2 and play a real fucking game. Editor's note, Octopath 1 is a completely okay game, and I'm sorry for calling it a piece of shit. I actually enjoy playing it, but Jesus fucking Christ, Octopath 1 fans, what the fuck? Octopath 1 had a lot of great ideas. 8 stories, 8 characters, 12 classes with tons of build options by mixing and matching abilities. It also had this really cool tabletop RPG inspired vibe as well, with character overworld actions like beating the shit out of random people or hiring people to help you, and it's all back and better than ever. Octopath 2 still maintains 8 different stories, but the difference is they're all much stronger stories on their own, with more characters and interesting ideas that make them more engaging and actually build to an overall mystery that leads into a final decisive encounter. One of the most absolute biggest improvements over the original, which did some shit like,
"I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate."
What's that make us?
Absolutely nothing!
But in Octopath 2, it's a lot of fun to theory craft and piece it all together as you play, with each path holding a piece to the overall puzzle. Like every time dudes start talking about flames and knights, your neurons start firing like you're fucking Columbo. Sure, some travelers have more to do than others with the overall plot, but it all connects, and even the most irrelevant of the 8 stories still has a reveal in it that genuinely got my blood cold in its relation to the overall plot. The characters also have a great amount of variety to their stories, ones like Hikari, the warrior prince who loses everything in a single brutal night, or Cassie, the apothecary attempting to find her memories only to find a trail of blood, or Throne, the thief, desperately fighting to have a free life. But then we have ones like Ochette, the huntress searching for the legendary Pokemon, monsters. Or Agnia, the dancer, attempting to be the best star she can to inspire everyone like she's a fucking Love Live character. These are more light-hearted adventures, and the differences in tones allows the stories to flow extremely well without getting overwhelmed. Like, you're not always getting serious, or dark, or funny, or silly. It's always a good mix. And then finally, you have the GOAT himself, Particio. In the original Octopath, I always felt like they didn't know what to do with the merchant character. You got Tressa, who's a fine character, but she kinda goes, "Oh, I'm gonna find some treasure and sell it, I guess." And then in 2, you got fucking Particio, who slams the door open and says he's gonna destroy poverty like it's an evil to be fucking destroyed. His story starts with the mining town he and his father built being bled dry by a rich man who tricked them, and Particio, as a savvy merchant, engages him in the marketplace of ideas. Just kidding, we beat the absolute fucking shit out of him and take all his money. Particio's story is another great example of diversity in adventures. You fight bosses like a fat rich guy or a dog who's miniature in real life, but because of how enemy sprites work is made gigantic in the actual battle. Kinda has a little Earthbound feel to it, actually. In fact, the entire game has a more modern feel to it. Particio is a businessman in a blazer, Hikari isn't a medieval Dark Ages warrior, he's a samurai. It's not modern, but it has a nice twist and turn-of-the-century vibe to it over the more generic medieval settings you see in RPGs. And damn, replaying small snippets of the game for quick footage, it really is impressive how much story they managed to stuff into individual chapters. They're not that long, but every single cutscenes in these stories is well made and impactful. I mainly only replayed a few chapter 1s to quickly get footage, and I was honestly hooked back in. Even chapter 1s feel so dense and worthwhile to play. And all of these travelers are so fun to use. So many RPGs hyper-focus on game balance, and forget that the most important thing in any class-based game is make the classes feel good to use. Like, let's take Hikari the Warrior. balanced and hitting hard and being bulky, just what you'd expect out of a warrior. But then, he can challenge people in the overworld to duels in order to find new paths to go, solve puzzles, or just be a menace to society and beat the shit out of whoever you find. But then, when Hikari defeats an NPC, he can learn new skills from them like a human blue mage. It makes you want to go around like a lunatic seeing what skills you can learn, making him an incredibly versatile and fun to use character. And Ochette the Huntress is very similar. She can capture monsters as reusable infinite skills, and it makes her extremely fun to just run around, capture as many monsters as possible, and just see what they can do. It's easy to make a warrior that hits hard, or a huntress that, does the same, but it's another thing to give players so many interesting options that gives them expression in gameplay. Ochette can also make food out of them if you have maxed out monster slots, meaning that you're also getting filled up with items that'll help you down the line. And one of the coolest parts of this function too is that during certain areas, once you beat the boss, you can encounter them as rare encounters and actually capture them as more powerful monsters. Like, I don't even know what to say, that's just so cool. The characters in this game just feel so good to use, and every traveler has crazy abilities that make them stand out whether in combat or in the world itself. You have so many options when engaging in combat. One of the best new additions as well is every character now has a special ultimate ability. Hikari's and Ochette's are pretty straightforward in hitting hard and such, but then you got Casti the Apothecary who can not only combine items for a stronger effect, but in her ultimate, use especially powerful and hard to find mixing items for free without using them up, encouraging people to engage in her core mechanic and use her more powerful items. I said it before, but the goal of any RPG is to make characters feel good and fun to use before anything else. Octopath 2 fundamentally gets that. I'm also not even covering some of the more crazy aspects either because I want you all to experiment and discover more for yourselves. Between the enhanced story, enhanced gameplay, enhanced endgame, and how it all ties together, and hell, more points I haven't even talked about how like the cleric character is a Phoenix Wright character and also gets one of the most damaging moves in the game for no reason. The mage shakes people down and has a Lex Luthor level hater villain. You get a fucking boat!
It broke new ground!
There's an entire day and night system which intertwines the story and gameplay in ways I can't even begin to explain in such a short video. I didn't even say a word on how good the game looks and how absolutely crazy the OST goes. I mean, the first time the second boss theme hits you, you just lose your mind with how good it is. I mean, listen to it. Okay, don't listen too much. I don't want this to be too long. Like I said before, I'm gonna make a full video one day, but for now, I'm just exhausted seeing such a good game go unrecognized and overlooked. I like this game a lot. It's not like it's my favorite game ever, but it just felt unfair with how so many other games got looked at and this one just got passed over. It truly does everything the original did, but better. It focuses on its strengths while patching its weaknesses. It knows what it wants to do, and it does it very well. It's one of the best turn-based RPGs of the past few years, and if you're looking for a new one to play, or trudging through and bored through the first game, or just wish Square Enix would make more turn-based RPGs, you owe it to yourself to play it. I mean, come on, people wouldn't just complain about Final Fantasy XVI being action-oriented, beg Square to make more turn-based games, while completely ignoring this one. Would they? The other reason I'm making this video right now is it's on sale on Steam right now, so people interested can pick it up for cheap. Go play it, and if you do, tell me how you feel. Time Stranger video in October or November. Goodbye!